Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome to my new playthrough, Kirby's Return to Dreamland. The second game that was released on the Wii. I don't know if he had any bonus games or spin-off games. I don't think he did. But this was the second platformer game for Kirby on the Wii. The first one being Kirby's Epic Yarn, which was way different from what this game actually is. This is a game that goes back to Kirby's roots, basically. So you don't have to worry about the yarn and bead gimmicks and all those other things that were in the Epic Yarn. As much as I loved those, it was kind of refreshing to go back to this style of Kirby. And it was actually like a really solid game, too. I remember really enjoying this on my first playthrough. And, well, let's get started with Kirby's Return to Dreamland, folks. I'm playing this on the Wii U. I'm using just my Wiimote, so I had a fresh file in mind. Now, there is an extra mode that you can unlock in this game that has slightly more features than the main mode, but I feel like for that, I'll just show off those extra features in an extra video and go back to my Wii version, like on the actual Wii console, where I have a file that should be up to that point. So if I want to show off any of those features, that's probably how I'll handle those, so do not worry about that. And yeah, there is actually a multiplayer function in this game, where you can play as Kirby, and you can have 3 friends that will play as King Dedede, Meta Knight, and Bandana Waddle Dee, which is a cool feature they added, but I feel like it's kind of unnecessary, because this game is not really that difficult, so you can get all the things pretty easily on your own, I feel like. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I will say it has been a bit since I've played this game, but it's definitely by no means a blind playthrough. Not at all. This is the planet Popstar. It looks pretty sweet here. Kirby has food that everyone else wants. Meta Knight's reading a book. Oh, well, what's going on in the sky? Oh no, the cake! It's Squeak Squad all over again, but even more drastic, because the cake was just stolen in that case. Oh, so it looks like we have kind of a flying ship here. It's losing all of its parts, and without those important parts, it's probably going to crash right in the ground. And you hate to see that. Yep, there it goes. Aw, and who's this little guy? Oh no, it lost all of its energy. And again, the most important parts of the ship are gone too. But of course, Kirby is going to be the helpful Samaritan. And all of his friends will do the same. Okay, it looks like each part is located on a different part of the planet. And yeah, let's go do this. Okay, so here's our first world. This world is called Cookie Country. So no, it's not Donkey Kong Country, it's Cookie Country. If you press A, you can see the energy spheres, which are the things we need to collect in this game. You basically see how many spheres are in each level, Looks like we have 3 spheres in each level, with 1 extra being in level 1-4. And, wait, 9... Okay, yeah, that's about right. Well, let's go and get started then. Now, as I said, this does kind of go back to Kirby's roots. And I want to say they kind of even go back further than just Kirby 64, because aside from Epic Yarn, Kirby 64 was technically the last true Kirby console platformer. They were definitely like all those Game Boy Advance and DS games too, but I'm not exactly counting those. But yeah, like I want to say this actually goes as far back as Kirby Superstar and Kirby's Dream Land 3, actually. Because, and we'll definitely see that as we start getting copy abilities. Let's go ahead and enter the first level. And yeah, the levels are kind of structured out like they are in Kirby's Adventure. So, like, you go to a world, and then there's, like, a hub world that has all the different levels, which is kind of cool. But yeah, this is telling you how you can use multiplayer, the multiplayer function in this game. Again, it's pretty cool. I've actually never played the multiplayer with anybody. It's something I've always wanted to do, but I've never really had the option because I don't exactly have a lot of fans or friends who are really into Kirby that much. Which is kind of a shame because I love Kirby. I think Kirby is a great franchise. I don't think it's as like awesome as the Mario franchise because obviously Mario's my favorite series, hands down, but you know, obviously I draw a lot of inspiration from the Kirby series, mainly because of my name, SlimKirby. So I bet you guys are hoping that'd be the case anyway. But yeah, so you get copy abilities. There's a lot of the basic ones that you see in pretty much all Kirby games. And there's also a few interesting new ones as well, as we'll get into later. And if you hit start, you can take a look at basically a description of the ability by just hitting over to the left or right. And you can also see the different moves you can use. And this is what really reminds me of Kirby Superstar, is that the moves are actually like really, really in-depth, and there's like a lot of different things you can do with them. So like, you know, it's more than just like, oh, just swinging your sword around. There's actually like a lot more to that, and you can usually have like a charge-up move, which is really cool. So yeah, that's what I really like about this game, is how it kind of draws that inspiration from Superstar, which probably is my favorite Kirby game of all time. I really love Kirby Superstar. As you guys probably know, it was the first, technically the first playthrough I did on my channel after all, so definitely means a lot to me in that fashion, that I was able to pick that game of all games to do first. And keep in mind, I said playthrough, not Let's Play. If it was Let's Play, that'd be Donkey Kong 64, but that kind of goes without saying. Here we have Fire ability, another ability that's pretty common in the Kirby franchise. Kirby can blow fire, he can turn into a giant fireball and shoot himself forward. I think if you press this and then hold against Kirby, he can actually set himself on fire, which is pretty freaking lethal. I think it does like a lot of damage. And there we go, that's an energy sphere. Consider energy spheres kind of like the star coins, like in New Super Mario Bros. And all of those games. That's kind of what they act like, although I feel like they're a bit more obvious than a lot of the New Super Mario Bros. Ones. I don't know, maybe just in my opinion. So whenever you see a block like this, you need to shake the Wiimote to actually swallow it. And that's basically how you get certain objects. And oh shoot. I think you gotta do the same thing with bigger enemies too, so gotta really, really press down on that button. Or not press down on the button, but, you know, shake the Wiimote. Oh my god, and yeah, the stars can get ridiculously huge, too. There's some sections of this game that actually look really cool when you do that. But we'll get into that later. We'll definitely get into that later. But yeah, this game is like absolutely gorgeous. It's like really, really beautiful, like beautiful game design and graphics and everything. I really like it. And here are the mega powers. If you find an enemy that's like really, really like sparkling, like big time, that is a mega power. And with the mega power, you have basically a way more advanced version of the ability that you actually have. So we have Mega Sword. It's freaking Destructo. It's super, super Destructo. This is actually, I believe, Kirby's newer Final Smash in Smash 4. Since he no longer has the Cook Kirby ability for his Final Smash. It's actually kind of cool because, yeah, you get more than just a giant sword. You get, like, the giant meat cleaver. You get a cutlass right there. I believe one of the things was actually a kendo stick, if I remember correctly. Let me get rid of some of these first before I just jump straight in there. Okay, no. I'll jump straight in there. These are the nebuloids. I don't know what these areas are technically called, but yeah, they're basically the black and white sections of the game where you have to be really careful and try to move forward before the screen actually tries to squish you. You basically got to make it through these sections very, very quickly. You shouldn't be too stressed out though. It's not really too bad of a section. But yeah, definitely try to grab some stars too. If you get 100 stars, you get a 1-up, like the Mario coins. And then once you make it to the very end of the section, you actually have a mini-boss fight. And you can choose 2 powers. So we have, let's see, we have fire and we also have sword. I'll go ahead and take fire. Sword is probably the better way to go, but I'll see what I can do. So here we have the Spear Doomer. We'll be fighting a lot of these guys, and I think some of these guys have different properties. So they're not going to be like this easy or this freaking pushover-like. But, you know, we do have to fight a lot of them, though. It is essentially a mini-boss fight. And, when you beat them, you will get 2 energy spheres as opposed to just 1. So, we have all the energy spheres in level 1-1, so hooray for that. And with that, we are pretty much done with the level, if I remember correctly. This is not a really long level. I mean, it is the first level, so I guess you can't really expect too much out of it. And you have the classic Kirby goal game, where you just try to see how far you can get, and you get different rewards based on how well you do. Okay, well, there we go. We have our first level completed. And now we're going to move on to level 1-2. Stage 2, to be specific. And I'm going to be more, I'm going to try to actually worry about getting more powers more often. Here we have the Leaf ability, which is, I think, a new one. Leaf's kind of cool, because you can do, like, really cool stuff like this. Kind of reminds me of, Woodman a little bit from Mega Man. Just because he used like a giant leaf shield, and that's kind of what it is when you do this. But yeah, this is essentially the charge-up move for the leaf shield. I guess I didn't really show that off with the fire ability, but I'm sure we'll be getting fire ability throughout the entire game multiple times. So let's see, if we hold A, we can hide in the leaves. We have the leaf uppercut, we have leaf rain, and then leaf attack, leaf swirl, leaf scatter. I'm just going to very briefly show these off. I'm not going to try to worry about showing off every single ability. But that is pretty much what this is. So, actually, hold on. Let's leave hide. Okay, so it's kind of like hiding from the enemy. Which is kind of interesting, I guess. Let's see, this is leaf rain. Oh, that's kind of cool. So yeah, that's basically the leaf ability. Not one of my favorites, but, you know, it kind of gets the job done, I guess. You can't really complain too much. see. And yeah, make sure you take a look at everything before you move forward. Because even though I said the energy spheres aren't really that difficult to get in this game, they can still try to hide them in some pretty sneaky places, so you really gotta look out. Here we have the cutter ability, which is another Kirby staple. I feel like this is one of the better instances of the cutter ability, though, because you can actually do stuff like that, which is really, really destructive. And really, really cool to boot, so... yeah, definitely a big fan of the cutter in this game, even when I'm normally not really that big of a fan of it. Can you do the, yeah, you can, okay. That's what I was trying to see, if you could do the final cutter, which is what the Smash Bros. Ability is. Kirby's up special. Shoutouts to Brawl, a game I'm playing right now. Nah. I really don't need a shout-out in one of my own videos. Okay, those big stars give you 20 stars, so definitely try to grab those whenever you find them. Because you never know, you may at some point need to get a nice boost so you can get your next one up. Let's see, is there something up here? I feel like there's something we want to get up there. It looks mighty suspicious. So yeah, this is where my perfectionist nature is going to come into play, and I'm going to get really paranoid about, oh my god, I'm going to miss an energy sphere, and chances are I'm probably not actually missing one. I can't help it, guys. That's just the way I am when it comes to these games. Here we have the... I don't want to call it the Cracker Launcher, because it's not the Cracker Launcher from Brawl, but it's kind of a variation of it, I guess. I think I talked about it briefly in the Brawl playthrough, but the thing that like this in Kirby Air Ride, I always thought that was the inspiration for the Cracker Launcher, because, you know, it kind of does the same thing. Okay, so this is about over, so let's go ahead and chuck it, or, oh, there we go. Now it's dead. And okay, yeah, I didn't miss anything, of course I didn't. See, me getting paranoid for nothing. Here we have Needle Kirby. Needle Kirby is kind of interesting. You can make the spikes bigger, can't you? I'll take a look at that in a minute. But yeah, Needle Kirby. Needle Kirby is a Kirby power-up that I don't feel like is in a whole lot of games. Like, it's in a lot of the big ones, but it's not in Superstar, which I always thought was weird. It's like one of those that's like was in the Dream Land series, but not really in the Superstar crossover. And I guess it was in Kirby 64 as well. I kind of... Oh, right, I forgot you could do that. That's a cool aspect of this, doing like the rolling needle ball. That's always really cool. It's nice trying to relearn all these abilities again. So let's see, we have the needle attack. Oh, you can also like do certain moves if you like shake the Wiimote too. Okay, so that's basically telling you how you do the needle burst. And there aren't really a lot of abilities for the needle. Oh, okay, well that's kind of interesting. That reminds me of a Kirby 64 like ability. Okay, and here's a really dirty energy sphere right here, hidden in the tree. I think that's like the only energy sphere I missed during my first playthrough. That I didn't like figure out. Oh, okay, that's where it is. Okay, this is how this works. That's kind of cool. So down here we have fire. I'll just go ahead and show off the different fire abilities. We've used it before though, so I don't feel like it's super necessary. A fireball climb? I'd like to see that actually. So yeah, those are all the different fire abilities. But here we have Beam Kirby. Ah, awesome. I love Beam Kirby. I always loved Beam Kirby in Kirby Superstar. It was always one of my... Well, not really one of my favorites, but one of those that like I never really mind using because of the alternate abilities that it has. There you go, you can use that nice little charge up again. Okay, that was just me kind of being stupid right there. What else is new? And dead. I think he just gives you the sword ability, but let me make sure. Okay, yeah. I'd rather have Beam right there. Because sometimes those guys... Wow, I needed sword. Okay, that was me being stupid yet again. Me actually needing a power to unlock something. So yeah, here's a rule, guys. Actually, wait. Could I use this? I don't think I can, but yeah, if they ever give you a power-up, usually through like a mini-boss fight or something, take it anyway, because you know you may actually need it, which I obviously did right here. Okay, I'll have to redo this level and then get that really quick. Thankfully, I can just like skip all the other parts. And yay, we made it all the way to the top, too. Nice. I think if you make it to the top, you just get a straight-up 1-up. Or no, you get 30. I'm thinking of other Kirby games, then. So I will be right back. Let me go and get that energy sphere really quick. And then I'll just not be that stupid in future parts of the playthrough, so hold on. And here we go. Got the sword. Break that platform, and now we can go up here and grab the last energy sphere. Still feel so stupid about doing that. I do apologize for that, guys. Not that it mattered too much. I did get an extra life out of doing that stage again, so... Or some more stars, or... You know, doing the stage again didn't necessarily hurt me. And again, because this is video form, I can just edit that level out, so there you go.